afternoon. This is Charmaine Brown, and I am blessed to be here with you. We are live. I thought we were live before I started talking. Anyways, this is Impact Gospel Radio, and we are doing our program Mental Health, a, a holistic impact where we impact other person's life in the community. You might be wondering what this program is about, and I will tell you in a little while. So, a little bit about um, the Impact Gospel Radio. But let me introduce myself. I am Charmaine Brown, and I am blessed to be here with you this evening. We are going to rock. We are going to roll. We are going to talk about some issues. We're going to talk about a little bit about Raymond, and then we're going to go into um, another season 2, episode 1 of the same thing. I want to talk a little bit about Impact Gospel Radio. So, Impact Gospel Radio come into play a few years ago, where there was Impact a prior system that was in place, and it was a prayer system, an international prayer system, where people from all over the world that was not doing that great would link up at a certain time, and they would pray and sing and share and get um the mental health of those who were in the group heightened, get them back on track. It provide positivity and allow them to find resources in their community. The um, the the owner, Dr. Clifton Rotty, had put a lot of resources in place for people in the communities to utilize, and information where they can get additional help. And so, Impact Gospel Radio is a very influential radio that I command every Monday at 6:30 Central Daytime, 7:30 Eastern Daytime. And so, my program that I do here is I'll have a holistic impact. The program, you might be wondering what I do with this program. So, this is a broadcast to help our mental health status. By what we do, we look at our lives and see how we relate to others. We compare our developmental stage with others' developmental state and see how we are functioning in society, and if we need a little bit of help mentally. There are issues that we face in our everyday life. We face issues at work, we face issues in the community, we face issues in the church, we face issues everywhere we go. We can face issues everywhere, and with people that we communicate with or converse with can cause us a little bit of stress, as well as it can cause us positive energy and vibes. And so, because of that issue, this platform will help us to explore how to manage our stress in an effective way, where we don't curse ourselves out when we are having problems. Some persons having problems and they start telling themselves that they are no good. They start looking at themselves in the mirror and disrespecting themselves, saying, I am no good. Who am I? Why did I do that? I'm ashamed of myself. Things like that that you tell yourself when there's a mistake. People make mistake all the time. And if we're going to abuse ourselves when we make mistake, can you imagine what we're going to do to other people when they make mistake? We're going to do worse to them. Because if we cannot love ourselves, we're not able to love other people. And so this program help us to look at our feelings, our behavior, and our actions towards ourselves, towards others in the community, our family members, and people worldwide. And so, with that said, I talk about mental health issues like anxiety, depression, anger. We look at definition, we look at signs and symptoms, and we look at how these things would affect us and how we can identify when they are affecting our lives, and see how we can use our coping mechanism and our coping skills and strategies to see how best to help ourselves and the people around us. And so, as a licensed certified psychotherapist, I am here with my experiences, my stories, with the Raymond family saga, where I depict a normal family in society and their problems and how we relate to them and how we would fix the problem we see that they are having in an effective way, so we can be effective in our lives and the lives of others. So, with that said, I am going to recap what happened in the Raymond family saga. We were on Raymond and the Raymond dilemma. Just going to recap a little bit, and then we're going to look at belonging and acceptance. Okay, so Dr. White came to Raymond after Raymond was having seizures in the hospital. He was not doing well in his community. He's not doing well at home. Karen is there trying to help and trying to be a sense of support. But Raymond is not talking, versing what is actually happening to him. And so Karen cannot help him. He's not, he tells the doctor a little bit of what's happening at home, but the doctor cannot help him unless he wants that help. The doctor gave him information, resources, and how to get mental health help in the community. He took the information and he said he's going to try to help himself. And if not, he will see if he needs further assistance from practitioner, a licensed practitioner. So when Dr. White finished, he said, "Thank you, doctor. I appreciate you." These news and medical update caused Raymond to feel distraught. Raymond has a lot to think about and things to implement so that he can rebuild his health. So when you're going through a situation, you have to stay back. You have to be in a place and a space where you are, where you can analyze yourself. You look into your life. You're not going to look into the life of other people. Even if other people cause what is happening to you. For instance, you are driving, you met in an accident, not your fault, someone else's fault. You might blame that person, but are we going to blame that person that our lives are not more on track? No. We are going to look at our lives and see how best we can fit skills, strategies, implement things into our life to make our life better so we can deal with the accident that we face. And so we're going to focus on ourselves. We need a space and a place where we put ourselves into an area of relaxation, of thought, our thought processes, where we are reflecting on what happened and how can we help ourselves. So that's what Raymond needs to do. He needs to find himself in a place, rebuild his health. Raymond feels that he did not belong anywhere. And remember, Raymond is a mulatto person. He's not totally white, he's not totally black. And so he did not feel like he belonged anywhere. He did not know who to tell his troubles. He wishes someone cares enough to accept him as is, with illnesses and all. Some of us are fortunate enough to have people in our lives that will accept us, sickness and all, and we should give thanks and we should appreciate those people. We should appreciate them. We should tell them all the time how much we appreciate them, and show it, not only say it, because sometimes you say things and you don't show it. Actions speak louder than words. I see where we have to go on a break, and so when we come back, we're going to look at belonging and acceptance, what it is, signs and symptoms, and how we can put things into place for us to feel loved and belonged. We'll take a break. Welcome back. Welcome back. I am Charmaine and I am blessed to be here with you today. This is Impact Gospel Radio and we are on mental health, a holistic impact. And so this is where we try to ensure that our mental health is going strong. We have the resources, the skill to ensure that we are able to be functional in society where we can help other people be functional. Okay? So last week I was saying that there were some friends and some folks that were very supportive, loving, caring, and I wanted to big up these people, but I had to get their go ahead. I had to get their consent. I am going to big up some people here today. We're not going to call any last name. Some of these persons work in some prominent hospitals here in the city of Winnipeg, and some are family and friends. So I'm going to big up some people. I'm going to take the time to tell these people that I appreciate them, I love them, and their care and affection has my heart in such a way that I hide their care and empathy in my heart and will keep it there and keep it safe there. So I want to big up Tracy. I want to pick up Kira. I want to pick up Rui, Zach, Don, John, Amoy, Kershina, Donna, Alicia, Jacob, Yusha, Shamar, Doreen, Mark, Andrew, and Andrea. And there's lots of Andrea, but Andrea knows herself. She knows herself. And so the reason why I want to big up these people are a few weeks ago, um, I got into some issues were going on with me. And if it was me alone, I love myself, people, and I take care of myself. But there are some systems that are in place that I would rather not go through to take care of myself. I think I can do an effective job taking care of myself at home compared to going through certain system. And I was not doing that great. And some of these persons, they were compassionate. They take me to a certain places, get me the help I need, check up on me, came and do a lot of great things for me, people. Lot of great things. I can't even go into details. They were so supportive. Oh my God, I miss a name. And Oma and Michael. Oh my God. And I almost miss these people because these people, I'm sorry. You're all appreciated. I love you. And I'm going to go straight into love and belonging now. So that, you know what, when you have supportive system, it makes a big, big difference. A big difference. It's like when I work with clients and I see them having a supportive system, they heal faster, they are discharged quicker because it allows them to feel positive. It motivates them to do things, right? And so with Impact Gospel Radio, mental health or mental health, a holistic impact, we come together and we provide those resources for everyone. I am viewing my host. Please post your question here. This is mental health, and I am also looking at my phone here. There is mentalhealthhorizon.com. You can email us at info@mentalhealthhorizon.com. You can go to Impact Gospel Radio and put your question there as well. And we have a private chat. Dr. Clifton Rotty is in the house. The producer is in the house, and Softy is in the house. So you heard her barking there before. So, why was Raymond lack of belonging and a lack of acceptance? Raymond's sense of belonging was altered because of fear of isolation from friends and social groups. Remember, he didn't have so much friends. He just had two friends, Sam and someone else. He did not have a social group. He only go to work and come back home to Karen. I don't know about him having a social group. I know the story very well. He has a fear of not meeting his obligation to Karen. Expressing himself to Karen has decreased over the past months because he probably don't want Karen to feel stressed or don't want Karen to take up his problem. Most people are like that. Mother might feel like that. Parents might feel like that compare when they have a child. They might be having problems, but they don't want to tell their kids what's going on because they don't want these kids to worry. There are people like that. There are people who are very independent, who keep their problem to themselves. And even when somebody said, "Can I help you?" they don't want that help. They figure out that they can do it themselves. I learned years ago that when you get help, take the help because you might need help and can't get help. A friend of mine that died years ago taught me that, over 20 years. And so when you're going through a hard time and somebody asks you, "Can I help?" If you need help, take the help. Do not let pride, do not let culture affect the help that you might get. Okay. So he was not feeling like he was fit, he fit into society due to his skin color. A lack of Lacking a sense of belonging can be problematic. If you feel like you don't belong nowhere, you're going to act like you don't belong nowhere. And we know how people act when they don't belong nowhere. They can be very disrespectful. They can be very hurtful. They can be very dangerous in the sense that they will hurt themselves and hurt others because they don't have a sense of compassion, because they don't belong anywhere. They feel like they're anywhere. And that's a very dangerous place to be when you feel like you don't belong anywhere. And there's a lot of us who feel like we don't belong anywhere, especially people who are coming from a different country into another country to rebuild and restart their lives. We feel like we can't tell anyone anything. We feel like we can't socialize with anyone because our sense of trust, our sense of trust is not intact, and so we don't trust anybody to tell them anything. If they ask us, "Do you have kids?" you don't want to tell them if you have kids. If they ask you, "How old are your children?" because they know you have children, you don't want to tell them how old your children are. If they ask you what work you do, you don't want to tell them what work. You don't trust these people, and because you don't trust these people, you don't want to talk to these people, and so you feel like you don't belong. Those persons are trying to build a social path so that you can communicate and build the trust. But what are we going to do if we don't trust persons? We just have to build that trust. So it can be problematic. I see where we have to take another break and come back to finish up. This time is going, people. So almost 20 minutes. We are here already. We're going to take a break and come back and continue our sense of belonging.
Impact. 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 Impact.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Charmaine Brown, and I am blessed to be here with you today. This is Impact Gospel Radio. And the program is Mental Health, a Holistic Impact, where we try to provide you with information, researched based information, where we provide you with experiences and stories and see how our lives um, connect with other person's life and what we can do to make our lives better for ourselves, our kids, our family members, our friends, in society and a whole. You are on Impact Gospel Radio. This radio station have a lot of resources. It's a radio station that is implemented in the community to help with prayers and law, health, social services, name it, we have it here. Mental health, holistic impact, where we have a system in place. We have a company, mentalhealthhorizon.com, where you can send us email to info@mentalhealthhorizon.com. You can book an appointment. We do assessment. We do a physical assessment from a nurse's perspective, and we try to help you with your mental health issues as best as we. I am looking. You can do your comment. I am checking the comment box. I am also checking the phone, the internet. The emails, and the producer and Brother Clifton. Dr. Clifton Roth is also on top of it as well. We're talking about how not having a sense of belonging can become problematic. A sense of belonging is vital because it involved family, community, and organization. So when you have a sense of belonging, everything is compact. You have a sense of belonging in the family, in the community, and other organization that they put in place for us, like the healthcare system and stuff like that. And so it's very important. We cannot separate our sense of belonging from our physical or our mental health. And that's from Mayo Clinic 2021. So a sense of belonging, what it is saying is that a sense of belonging allow us to have an overall health status where we are in sync mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, financially, all the alleys, we are in sync. And so that is very important. This means if your physical health is inadequate, then it is difficult to be with persons you love. If you are not feeling a sense of belonging, you cannot love people who say they love you. You cannot say you love persons who you don't belong to or you don't feel close to. A sense of belonging gives you that closeness where you can empathize with persons when they are not feeling well. If you don't have a sense of belonging, it affects your mental health status. You go into the community and you see somebody that is not feeling well, and because you don't have that sense of belonging, you don't care about this person. You just walk by like nothing is wrong. When you have a sense of belonging, a sense of caringness, kindness, compassion, you will not see someone in the community feeling unwell and just pass like it's nothing. Well, I'm going to tell you something that I realized when I came to Canada to live. Being from a different cultural background, being a Jamaican, those communities in Jamaica, they are very close-knitted. And so it is not within our psyche for us to pass someone on the road or someone not feeling well, even or anywhere, and just don't care. It doesn't happen like that. Our parents do not teach us that. And so the education that we get there is to always care and ensure that we care, because if we pass that person and that person, we didn't say hi or anything, and that person go to our parents, then we are in trouble. The discipline is going to be in place for us. And so with that, I'm having a feedback. And so with that, what will happen is that we don't have a sense of belonging. We won't care for people in the community. We don't have a sense of belonging. Coming into this country was different. I was in Toronto, and because I lived there for a while, and I went into the elevator, and me coming from a country where we say hi to everybody. So I went into the elevator, and the elevator were coming from the apartment building. I went into the elevator, going down, and the elevator was full of people. And me with my stupid self, not knowing that that the culture here was different and is different, say hello, good morning, everyone. And you know, when you say hello and persons don't answer, you think the people didn't hear. I turned around in the elevator and said, "Hello, everyone. Good morning," because I actually thought they didn't hear me. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry. It's it is funny. It's still I still get a laugh out of it. They heard me. The culture was different. They don't have to answer me. They don't have to acknowledge that I say good morning. The culture here in Canada is different. They don't have to say anything. I felt offended because it was a culture shock for me. And persons in the elevator was looking at me like, is she crazy? Or I didn't know the different culture. I didn't know that I am not supposed to say good morning. I didn't know that it doesn't matter who is in the elevator. You don't have to say nothing. It I didn't know that when you go to work, you don't have to say good morning to your colleagues. I didn't know these things. So it was a new learning process for me to to stop saying good morning to people that I meet on the road, to people that I am in a car with, to people who I'm on a trip with, the people in the church and all. It was a new learning experience for me not to say good morning. And so I think that brings down my value, the value that I place on people's life a little bit, because I love people and I want to know that they're okay. And so if I'm going to inquire about persons who might not be okay, it's not culturally accepted from some culture. Jamaican, fine. They say hi anywhere they go and ask you if you're okay. Here it's a little bit different. And so that's what happened when you come into a different country. And I can understand persons moving from a different country, coming to a first world country, not able to feel belong into any group, because people keep themselves segregated, isolated, especially in the winter time. Especially when it's winter, people just go to work, go buy their goods, go back in, and you don't see anyone. So I can imagine. This mean okay, I am having a feedback. Have enough to give. You cannot give what you don't have. If you don't have sense of belonging, you cannot give that. If you don't feel belong, you cannot allow other people to feel belong. If people ask you something, you're not gonna want to share anything because you don't feel belong, so you don't know how to pass that on. If your mental health is inadequate, then people might not want to be with you. And I'm gonna tell you this, people. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I would rather be with someone who has a mental health diagnosis and is taking care of themselves, they are going to their therapy, they are having their medication, and they are functional in society, than being with someone who has mental health issues and pretend like they don't have an issue, do not want to fix that issue, do not want to acknowledge that challenge, and don't want to get help with those challenges. That's me and a whole. We're going to take another break and we'll come back right after.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Charmaine Brown, and I am blessed to be here with you at Gospel Radio. This is mental health holistic impact, where we try to provide tools and strategies where you can, if you're not well mentally, where can you restore yourself, relax yourself, and get back to your norm, get back in balance where you function society and in the world around you. I don't want to go into love, a sense of belonging and acceptance. Too much. I don't want to give you information. The reason why I don't want you to be overwhelmed. And so the dilemma and the Raymond dilemma has come to a stop. I did and that's my producer distracting me. So we're on the current dilemma. This story is very interesting. Current dilemma season 2 episode 1 was current years. And so for that we are going to current dilemma. Karen was 36 years old, born and interstate community in Jamaica. Hell on all the place. Canadian all over the place. American all over the place. Some of us have dual citizenship, and some of us have triple citizenship, and some of us have a lot of citizenship. I am one of those persons who have a lot of citizenship. So Jamaican, Canadians, and Americans. British, everyone. So Karen was 36 years old in the inner city community of Kingston, Jamaica. Hi everyone. Sorry, my mic was not working, and so my producer had to come and just come here like that. People, that was so not cool. He's a producer. What can I do? Are you hearing me? I see my mic is still not working. Let me see. Are you hearing me? Still.
Impact Gospel Radio and Mental Health Horizon. All information posted or aired is merely for educational purposes and is not a substitute for seeking further professional advice. While the information aired has been verified to the best of our abilities, we cannot guarantee there are no mistakes or errors. We reserve the right to change this policy at any time. If you want to stay up to date with the latest mental health information, please visit our website at www.mentalhealthhorizon.com, book an appointment at info@mentalhealthhorizon.com, or tune into the broadcast every Monday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time.